Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Wargroove. I have taken a moment and checked back to see what I missed in the codex. It wasn't actually a unit, it was in fact... I'm going to check lore. Here we are, we got Felheim. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm actually going to read the Cherrystone one as well, because we haven't looked here either. So I'll start with Cherrystone, do Felheim, and then we'll get into the next mission. The Cherrystone Kingdom. A peaceful place where pastoral grasslands give way to lush meadows and cool emerald forests. While the Cherrystone Kingdom is caught between the harsh snowscapes of Felheim to the west and the hazardous wilds of the Gloomwoods to the east, the kingdom, for the most part, manages to exist in its own tranquil state. While wary of their eastern neighbors, Cherrystone citizens are rarely actually troubled by the Florin, provided humans don't accidentally wander into the Gloomwoods. The same cannot be said of their neighbors to the west, where their border with Felheim requires constant vigilance. Occasionally, over the centuries, leaderless hordes have stormed the border, intent on pillage and plunder, while every few generations, whoever happens to be the current wielder of the Fel Gauntlet decides to make a foray into Cherrystone in a vicious attempt to expand Felheim's borders. Thus, the Cherrystone army is forced to remain on guard at all times. The Felheim Legion. Splintered fjords and rimy forests, broad, empty tundra, and jagged snow-capped mountains. This is Felheim. It's a quiet place, all sound muffled by the fathomless snow. Sometimes the wind will pick up and howl a mournful, bitter song across the icy plains, but otherwise silence reigns. Here, the undead walk. The chill can't reach their weathered bones. Perhaps they look frail to you? They're not. They are held together by more than rotting sinew. They exist by sheer force of will. The living also eke out an existence among the undead, hunting iceboar and blubber seals. Like the land they inhabit, Felheim's living citizens are a quiet people, stoic, no-nonsense individuals. If it weren't for the ascension of a new gauntlet-clad lord every few decades, they'd happily keep themselves to themselves. But there we go, you can't have everything. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Alright, on that note, I believe we're up to date. Let's see. Alright, the following day on June 9th, worst enemies forever. Unhappy with her defeat, Ragna decides to take matters into her own hands.
Whatever.
So you won. Who even cares? All you did was beat up a few lousy, stinking skeletons.
I won't hold back.
I care, and I won't stop until my kingdom is safe. Enough messing around.
I'll crush you.
Alright, seems she hasn't gotten the message quite yet. Ragna has moved deep into the region. She's even got a stronghold. A stronghold is a really important structure that anchors a faction to a region. To win, we can either defeat the stronghold or Ragna herself. I understand. I'm joining this fight personally. Look, over there. One of our knights has beaten us here. Knights are strong, fast-moving units. However, they're unable to capture structures. Only infantry and commanders can do that. Knights sound great. Let's get started. Hold your horses. It seems this knight is low on health. Is there something we can do to help? Indeed there is. This is where reinforcement comes into play. Simply move a wounded unit next to one of our structures and select Reinforce. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Sadly, structures are unable to regain health through reinforcement. However, their health will gradually be restored over time, as will that of certain units. All structures regain 10% health every turn, and all commanders, such as yourself, regain 5%. Duly noted. Let's go ahead and move this fellow right where it's asking us to, and reinforce. So they've been fully healed, and the settlement has gone down to 4. Excellent, our knight's back to full health. Yes, though it's important to note that reinforcing has its drawbacks. First, reinforcing a unit costs an amount of gold proportional to the unit's value. And second, the health restored to the unit is taken from the health of the structure. Got it. Reinforcements cost gold, and transfers health from the structure. Okay, I should start by taking control of these barracks and nearby villages. Alright, so I'm going to quickly check what the crit does for this fellow. Critical hit when it attacks from a location 6 paces away from where it starts. So it gets a critical when it rushes in to attack somebody. Meanwhile, we can move 4. And it doesn't seem we have any kind of critical, but I'm going to assume we have no weaknesses. That's interesting to note, and we're effective to quite a few different types of units. So we'll try and make use of that while we can. Let's go ahead and check Ragna, actually. Felheim's Patchwork General, built to sow death and destruction. So they are sort of a vampire-esque creature. Or not vampire, I don't know why I said that. I meant zombie. They also seem to be effective to most of our units, and can move 4. Alright, so we want to either take this out, or we want to take her out. It's worth noting that the Stronghold also gives 100 base income, so they'll always be making some money, even if we take out their 2 cities up here, or settlements, rather. Or village. I keep mixing up exactly what it's supposed to be called. So we have this barracks. Let's go ahead and move you up as far as you can go, and work to capture this barracks. Wonderful. And it'll start healing itself up. Let's go ahead and move her up. Now, since we have a commander, we can actually note that he will be able to get critical hits, this footman, swordsman. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take that open one. Not much we could do about that. I'm realizing I probably could have actually summoned a unit that past turn. Oh dear, I should stay on top of things. As commanders, you and Ragnar are both powerful units on the battlefield. You can easily take down most infantry units and enemy structures single-handedly. Make the most of your strengths as a commander without risking your neck. Remember, the team that loses their commander also loses that battle.
I won't let you down.
Okay, I can do this. Alright, so we're going to be relatively safe. They can't even really reach us with Ragnar or their swordsmen quite yet. So let's go ahead and take him first. Capture this neutral. There we go. Nice and easy. And from there, let's go ahead and check the barracks. So our knights are going to cost 600, rangers 500, so knights are our most expensive, which makes sense because they can traverse all the way up to 6 units in one go. So I'm going to check how far they can reach. So they can attack up to this point. So I'm going to go ahead and move, just to double check, I'm going to move just out of range. And sort of hold the line up there. We're going to go ahead and move her into what I believe is a safe location. And then I'm going to go here, and we can't afford either of these yet, but if I check the overview, we're making 340 every single turn. So currently we have 340, we'll have another 340 next turn. So I'm wondering if it's worth it to start investing in, investing in pikemen quite yet. Oh, hold on. Okay, so the beach is actually a hazard, whereas the water of the sea is defensive, but I suppose it's because the beach can actually be traversed by foot units. Noted. So from here, I'm actually thinking, just because of the movement's sake, let's get one more swordsman out, so they can start shoring up the line here, and follow along next to our actual commander, and then we can start plugging in pikemen to hold the line as a sort of back defensive. Ragnar just recruited a Dreadspear, a Felheim spearman. It would be prudent to check the spearman's info screen. Let me direct your attention to the table at the bottom. This table tells us which units the spearman is especially effective against. Oh no, it says they're effective against cavalry. Yes, spearmen will deal extra damage against units such as our knight. Go ahead and close this window when you're ready. So it's looking like they're actually also going to be effective against our swordsmen too, which is going to be a problem. We should make sure not to put our knight in any unnecessary danger. This would be a good time to check the enemy's movement range. How do I do that?
Let me show you.
By holding this button, you can display how far the selected unit can move. Awareness of the enemy's range is important when positioning your units.
I should keep that knight out of reach of the Dreadspear.
Good thinking, my queen.
Noted. I've been trying to make sure of that myself already. So the Dread Spear can reach all the way up to here, which should mean that if we tried to attack here, we'd actually be safe. Only issue is I didn't actually take into account how far it was. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'd stayed back a little bit, we could have gotten a critical hit and maybe even finished this off in one go. Well, actually, we can finish off in one go. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we can go ahead and nullify that. We'll be able to be attacked by just this one swordsman, it looks like. And let's go ahead and check. It's only effective against our archer units, and they're actually vulnerable to cavalry, so I think this is actually a very safe bet. So I'm going to go ahead and move. Knock this out. Alright, so it's back to neutral.
My village! Give that back!
No.
You won't get it back without a fight. Alright, so let's go ahead and move you up. Ragna's here, you're here. Alright, we're just within range of being able to get attacked by these guys. But we can't actually reach them ourselves. What I'm thinking is, we move up into the hill, and we bring him up as a sort of back line. So we can take her, get the massive defense bonus from the mountain, and then bring him to block off that part of the road. And then, now that we're aware, I'm thinking we should invest in a ranger or a pikeman. Rangers move 3 with a range of 3, and pikemen move 3. Let me check the effectiveness here. Alright, what's the effectiveness of our rangers? Let me check. Okay, they're actually going to be pretty helpful either way, because they actually are effective against all of them. So I'm thinking the ranger is the good investment here. Alright, they're going to be making one attack. Should be relatively equal footing. Obviously they have the bonus, because they attacked first. She's gonna attempt to regain this structure, which is expected. This should go very well for us. Indeed it did. Alright, now we're going to have to worry about our cavalrymen because they've moved the spearmen closer.
This part of Cherrystone is more forested than I remember. We may be able to use this to our advantage. Different terrain types have different advantages and disadvantages. You may have noticed that traveling through a forest will slow you down.
Now that you mention it, I also noticed that units struggle with mountains.
Additionally, some terrain will increase or decrease that defense of a unit. Forests will give you a boost in defense, while rivers will make you vulnerable. You can read more about each terrain type by checking its tile info.
I will. Thanks, Emmerich. Alright, we've sort of been doing that ourselves already. Okay, we need to be very cautious of that. Can we get him out of range? Only really by backtracking, so we're going to want to be very careful because even if we initiate a fight, they're going to be doing a hefty chunk of our health, and so is she. So we did a little bit of damage just by taking that out for one turn, and I feel happy about that. So let's actually just focus on getting you out of range, and we can actually do that by running you all the way over here and starting to smack this, which I'm not sure if it's worth it. Oh, it absolutely is. We can finish them off because we'll get the critical hit. So we can take out their actual barracks. So they'll have to focus on running backwards with these two to work it. So we'll just kind of be triggering interference with this guy. So I'll wait to do that last. Let's go ahead and bring this soldier. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we move you out of the way... Well, first things first. How about this? Let's go ahead and take her. I'm trying to think of what the best method of this will be. Let's take her and attack.
I won't fail.
Perfect. And we've already started healing. We'll be almost completely full very soon.
Useless skeletons.
If you surrender, we can just end this now. We don't have to keep fighting.
Never!
Alright, so you can go here and attack, but I don't know if that's the best plan quite yet. tell you what, if we move him here, he can't actually reach quite yet either. I'm just very hesitant because I don't want you to get hurt. Well, hurt isn't really the issue. I'm more concerned about you dying. But you're actually going to be relatively safe here. So I'm going to move you up to almost finish you off. We will take a massive hit. Well, relatively big hit, rather. We're down to 31, but we can come up with this fellow and flawlessly finish these guys off. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and move our ranger. Start getting them upwards. Actually, let's start bringing them down, because we can bring them through the woods, hopefully. Then, outside of that... Should I start going with the spearmen? That might not be a terrible idea. I'm actually going to continue going with the regular soldiers, just purely because they have the speed bonus, and they'll be going up to shore up the defenses of our main commander. So let's bring our knight up here, follow along with this plan, so they don't have their barracks. Good.
This is impossible! Great, Ragnar can no longer recruit soldiers.
Now's the time. Let's take her down. Okay, so they'll probably send at least one of these back to try and retake this. Oh, they're actually going to go for a one-on-one. Alright, she did a decent hit to us, but we also did, unfortunately not a massive hit to her. Alright, what to do from here? We can go and start trying to take that out. We can start trying to hurt their spear. We can retake that city, or village. We can't do too much useful with you yet, but it's worth moving you up. Same as this guy. You only do 23. We only do 33. We're actually hurting quite a bit. 17... I'm trying to think. I think moving you to the mountains is a good idea for the defensive nature of it. So let's do that, because we really need you to not die. If we move you forward, we can fight, but we'll still take a massive health hit, which isn't ideal. And this guy will just straight up die. Interesting. I'm wondering if this is even worth it. It might be. Alright, I'm gonna go with it. You guys are relatively expendable anyways. And the damage you're going to do to her should be useful in the long run, just because it'll weaken any strikes she can do. Then if we move you up, we could attack from the woods, but you would just die. You guys are actually completely safe back here. So I'm wondering if we should just keep you back, or if we should even try and go back and reinforce, but I don't think it's worth it. Meanwhile... I'm thinking another swordsman just for the sake of having more bullets. Or actually a ranger might be worth it. My only concern is if we get a ranger, we're making 300 every turn. I was hoping at some point we'd be able to afford a knight, but it's looking like that's not going to happen in the near future. Curious. And they both could attack me if I tried to move the knight down that way. Actually, tell you what, if I moved the knight and I attacked this spearman, then I could probably finish them off with this soldier. At least that would be the hope, right? Because I can do 67, then they'd be weaker, so then I'd be able to do 11. I wouldn't be able to kill them, but maybe they wouldn't be able to kill me? I actually don't know if that's a decent enough investment source. So tell you what, because they'll be able to reach me no matter what, I'm going to go here in this plane and hurt their income once more. We'll be able to get hit by at least one of them, but hopefully not enough to actually kill us. And then with this unit, I'm thinking we just keep them behind. So let's go ahead and intern. Alright, so they're going for the attack. Good, the mountains helped us a lot there. We did a decent-ish blow. They're probably going to kill us. Indeed. Alright, could have been worse. Could have been worse. Okay, so with you, we still aren't getting any actual use out of you, are you? Bugger. I think this whole idea of trying to go through the woods wasn't really worth it in the end, unfortunately. But you live and learn, I guess. I guess, yeah, just the fact that it takes two really hurts us. And they didn't actually go after you at all, which is interesting. Trying to figure out the longest possible route. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wouldn't we get a crit for that? 6 spaces away. Maybe it doesn't actually count the path. Maybe it is just this doesn't count as 6 spaces because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fair enough, I guess. Yet this one gets 6. Let me see here. Maybe it's just because they're effective to us or something? I don't really know. We might actually be able to just take this out if we go for it. I'm trying to think of which of these would be easier, because the Stronghold has no effectiveness, right? Whereas she is effective against some of our units. So I'm wondering if we can get in with you and you, at the very least, then maybe we'll be able to make this work. The only fear is if it doesn't actually go through, then we'd be leaving ourselves very open. What to do, what to do, what to do. Very interested in what we're supposed to be doing here. I do think this is worth our time. I'm fairly confident in that. Or maybe, let's see, if we can attack her, that's 24, 16, and 6. I don't think that's enough. Whereas with this guy, we can do 46, and then 29, and then, if we desperately needed that one last attack with you. So we could kill the Spearman, if we really need to. Which might be worth it. Let's actually try that. Let's try taking this Spearman out, because they can't summon any more units is the thing. So if we can just wean them out, then it might be worth the investment alone. So we take a small hit to you. We can just finish you off. Good.
Brace yourself.
Oh, I could have sworn that was a kill. Well, I suppose might as well use you then. There we are. Okay, now you, since you're completely healed. I'm thinking that's just about it. Let's get a knight just for good measure, because we can afford one finally. Alright, we took a pretty hefty hit, but I was fairly confident we wouldn't die. So we're up to 20, we were down to 15 last, which was real scary. So we can start mobbing her, or we can start trying our best to actually attack the settlement. I'm trying to think of what is our better use of our time. I'm thinking her, because we're actually able to finally attack with our dang archery unit now. So let's get this guy in. Let's go ahead and fire. We don't want her to actually be taking any hits, so let's go up with him, because he's healthy. Good. Alright, from here, 15, 5, and 9. Alright, I think we should move her over 1, so you get the critical hit. So you can do 23. Now they're almost dead. You take minimal damage. And then we can get you into the mountain range. And you'll both trade blows, but very small ones, because you'll have the mountain range's support and you'll also get the critical hit from being nearby the commander. And this also does the extra benefit of protecting our commander from even being able to be hit in the first place. So we should be completely and totally safe at this point. Besides that, I mean, I guess just because we're able to, let's summon one more. Alright, she's going to try and get this kill. Not gonna work. We did a small hit, but next to nothing. And we should be able to finish them off pretty easily here. In fact, we can actually just archery. They're practically dead, and then we can go in with our cavalry unit for the clean kill. Done and done.
You did it!
Phew, that was tough.
I lost? That's impossible!
Impossible?
You must have cheated. You cheated, didn't you?
No.
It seems pretty difficult to have a reasonable conversation with you. So I'm going to go.
You'd better run. Lord Valder!
Ragnar.
Quiet, Ragnar. You disgrace yourself. Stand aside and let me fix your mess.
Hey, we got an A this time. That's good. Moving up a little bit from our last one. Ragnalore. Let's check it. Let's go ahead and hit Options, Codex, and Ragna. Created by Valder to be the ultimate commander, Ragna is a patchwork assembly of the best parts of history's greatest warriors. She strives to be the baddest she can be. She is Queen Mercia's dedicated adversary. Never ask Ragna if she thinks of Valder as her dad, because she'll punch you. Nonetheless, she shows him filial devotion. While Ragna may not find it particularly easy to express her feelings, they are writ large by her actions. Beyond anything else, she longs to impress her creator and make him proud of her. Unfortunately, her ardent desire is frustrated by two considerations. First, while it's clear that Valder has a great deal of time for his young zombie commander, he's not the sort of to outwardly express pride or affection. And second, despite her impressive progenitors and irrepressive zeal, Ragna often falls a little short of the victory she seeks. In fairness to Ragna, it serves us well to remember that she is only 5 years old. Interesting, alright. June 10th, the next day. Lord of the Dead. With Cherrystone overwhelmed, Mercia must get her people to safety.
So we meet at last. Queen Mercia of Cherrystone.
My queen.
My queen. That's Valder, Lord of the Felheim Legion, Master of the Fel Gauntlet.
Valder!
That's Valder! Oh no! Ragnar has power, but lacks discipline. I fall short on neither.
This is a battle we cannot win.
So you retreat. But where do we go? The Gloom Wilds. Or Gloom Woods. It's our only option. The Gloom Wilds? But... Does the Queen of Cherrystone give up her throne so easily? It's okay, Caesar.
Let's go.
Let's start the retreat. We have no choice. I will say, he has a very sick helmet. It's sort of off topic, but... Has word spread? Does everyone know we're leaving?
They do. The citizenry is already on the move. They're coming via the West Road, but the Felheim Legion isn't far behind.
We have to get them out of here, fast.
Indeed, we had best use the wagon to ferry them towards our stronghold. Vehicles like these cover a lot of ground, on roads especially. They're the fastest way to reach the front line. I suggest you climb into this one yourself and then order it towards our villages.
Alright, let's hop in.
Yes.
Now you can move the wagon south, closer to the location of the villages. The wagon can only hold one unit at a time, and villages count as one unit. When you arrive, exit the wagon using drop, so that the villagers can climb aboard.
Alright. No, we're still in tutorial mode. I was going to right click. That's a lot of movement. Alright, let's go ahead and hit here. Let's drop. Okay, I made it. I better get these villagers into the wagon.
Yes.
Yes, you can drop them off near our barracks.
Now I'm here, I can look out for enemy troops.
Yes, and with the wagon near the barracks, you'll be able to ferry more units to our side. Alternate the use of the wagon to transport your troops to the battle and your villages to safety.
Yeah.
I will. Thank you, Emmerich. Alright, let's check things real quick. So, moves up to 12. That's wonderful. And the villagers. Vulnerable to pretty much everything. And can move 3. Alright, so let's go ahead and load you up. So this coming turn we can go all the way back. Let's see, these are regular villages, nothing fancy. We have our barracks up here. We're starting with 500. That's good to know. We have our main building, which we can't lose, and we have our zone that we're trying to get the villagers to. Okay, seems fair enough so far. I'm wondering if we should have these guys keep scout on this road. Let's actually do that. So let's start getting these guys up as far as they can go. And then we can start getting them up in the mountains if we need to, or in the woods. Let's have her wait down here, and as far as spawning goes, let's go ahead and get... I'm wondering if another wagon might even be necessary. For the time being, let's get you a bit farther. And let's summon a... How much money are we making every turn? We should be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Good, we're getting 4. So if we summon a wagon, that'll leave us with 200, we'll get 400 next turn, we'll be able to afford pretty much anything we want. So I'm thinking the wagon might be worth our investment. Actually, I'm gonna keep countering myself. Let's actually just go for the pikemen, since they're such a good defensive unit. Alright, they're coming from the south. I have to protect the villagers. What if we lose one of our troops?
Go. As a commander, you're strong enough to handle this first wave on your own.
Alright, noted. So let's go ahead and go down. How far can they reach? So we have an archer and 2 swords. So the archer can fire on the settlement, but none of these two can. So let's go down just as far as we can. So we're actually completely still out of range, but they shouldn't be able to one-shot it. Alright, let's get you up. And then drop. And then load you up. Meanwhile, let's bring you as far down as we can. And let's get one more... I'm thinking another knight, just for the sake of speed. Although it is very pricey. We don't actually need another wagon, I don't think. Let's start with another knight, and then the following turn we'll get another pikeman, because the wagon will be on its return trip by that point. So let's go ahead and do what we were planning with the defense of these guys. So let's move you up, and move you up. Actually, sorry, move you here, so that you can go in this mountain and you can go in the other mountain. This might be a waste of time. They might only be coming from the south, but we'll see. Alright, took a decent hit. Aha, wasn't a waste of time at all. Alright, so they can attack us starting now. But let's go ahead and do our defensive positions. Wonderful. Alright. So besides that, what can we do here? We can one-shot the archer, no problem. With these guys, we can't quite finish them off. But we can finish off both of these and leave only one remaining. So let's go for that. So, hit the archer.
I won't fail.
Good. Let's take our cavalry and finish off this unit. There we go. Alright, they'll be able to get one more hit in if they really want to, or they can attack one of us. Either way, we'll be able to survive it. Villager, you just start running. Meanwhile, let's get our... Thinking it's good for the cavalry to just start going in this sort of middle ground area, so they can be used wherever they need to. And let's summon another pikeman. Well, first, before we do that, let's bring you down all the way to, I'm thinking right around here, actually. And we'll drop you off right in the grass. And then we'll summon another pikeman, like I said. And then on the return trip, we'll come grab you. Oh, never mind, we'll have to grab this guy.
More refugees have arrived on the rest road, and others will follow.
Okay, so we're gonna keep getting continuous villagers. I get it, I get it. So we might actually... Now might be the time to invest in that other wagon that I was talking about. We should fare very well in this encounter. Indeed we did. Alright, we have another wave. Let's go ahead and load up. And start making our trip. Outside of that, let's see. We can finish you off no problem. So let's actually just do that. There we go. And now you can just stay right where you are. This guy should load up. This guy should run forward a bit more. And the cavalry... First things first, let's get this pikeman a bit closer. These guys can all... Only one of them can reach her right now. So she's actually fine to just sit here and attack.
I won't fail.
Good. And this cavalryman is completely safe, so let's leave him. Actually, let's backpedal a little bit, because they can all move up to fill up this line. So, if we move, and sort of plan ahead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we move up here, then we should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and attack these guys. At least that's what I think is the case. I hope I'm right. I'm still not counting the distance right with that, I don't think, but I'll learn. With you, let's see. You have no problem with swordsmen, right? Yeah, no vulnerability. In fact, you're actually effective. So I think I'll run you up just because I expect that they will have reinforcements show up here at some point. And besides that, let's go ahead and summon one more wagon, just that way we have it. Alright, they're going for the easier target. Negligible. And we almost completely defeated them. They're gonna try and trade blows. Not a problem. They're gonna move up. We're gonna summon a bit more. I feel, I don't know, fired up?
My queen.
It's your groove, Queen Mercia. You have charged it for the very first time. Grooves are a gift. Commanders like you and I charge them as we battle. You must use your groove to benefit your forces.
I want to use it to heal them.
Focus your energy and cast a healing aura. It will restore some measure of health to you and any nearby friends and allies.
Tactical advantage.
When used at the right time, this ability may very well turn the tide of battle.
I did notice that she started having this particle effect around her. So if I leave her here, she can have the action healing aura, which I imagine now... I'd hoped that maybe if we checked in here they had added a new pop-up. Maybe it's in Codex. I'd actually like to check that. So if I go to Mercia in units... that's not quite it. I think it would actually be inside her table. Mercia raises her sword to the sky and heals all surrounding allied units by 50%. So she does a pretty wide range all around her. Okay, that's good to know. Not sure we need it quite yet, seeing as we don't have that many units, but we'll see. So I didn't actually move far enough away, which is unfortunate, but you'll live and learn. So this pikeman... we can start doing some trades and just leave this one alive, actually, because we can trade you. We'll only take 25. We can trade with you and we'll take 37, and we can just fully heal everybody. And we'll be able to completely block them off and probably just bounce off any attack attempts they make. So I think that's worth investing in. Let's go ahead and run you guys back up a bit. Get you all the way up. Perfect.
Very well.
Well done, Queen Mercia. The first of the villagers have made it safely to the pass. Keep going.
Okay. You two. What am I gonna do with you? So the swordsman can reach, but that's not gonna be a problem. In fact, let's actually try and see here. Neither of you can even reach these woods, so let's move you into the forest, just for the extra defensiveness of it. Or I could even move here and try and taunt you into attacking, but the spearman has effectiveness towards me, so let's not do that. Let's just take the hit that we can get. Perfect. And we'll take at most 2 hits to this guy, which he should be able to survive. But actually, on that note, let's move you up 1 and sort of cycle. So that way, yeah, perfect. This should be a better defensive position. Now, with you guys, I can even move you all the way down. Let's do that plan that I mentioned. So let's try and just make sure that there's no weird convoluted way I can get... Nah, I can't. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring our pikemen down. Attack. Let's bring you down and attack. and we can heal everybody. But before we do that, since that's sort of a final move, I'm thinking, let's bring this pikeman down, and let me just make sure that no one can attack. Good. No one can somehow reach over. So you go down here, we'll drop you, so you get the critical bonus. And then besides that, let's try and get a ranger. I was hoping maybe we could dump them straight in. Never mind. So let's dump. Our ranger will be able to move 3, right? So if I move him here and then 1, 2, 3, I can bring you all the way over here and still get the ranger to you this coming turn. I might have even been able to go one more farther than that, but whatever. Alright, let's make use of this healing aura.
I'll save you all. Healing aura.
Nice. That was amazing! Can I do that all the time?
Only when you have fought enough to charge your groove fully. The charge will slowly build up on its own, but fighting and defeating enemies will accelerate the process. Therefore, if a weakened enemy is nearby, it's sensible to land the finishing blow yourself. The quicker the charge, your groove. But remember, we can't afford to lose you, so don't overstretch yourself.
Okay, I understand. Thanks, Emmerich.
I'll save you all.
More villagers. We'll keep you safe. Alright, so this wagon is gonna have to go up and grab you. This should be nice and straightforward. Perfect. These traits should be pretty straightforward as well. Not bad. This should be very good for us as well. Nice. And we might even get a kill off this one. Nice. Oh, perfect. Extra kills. that was nothing. That was barely even a increment. Alright, we got 2 soldiers and a rider now. Alright, you. How far can you run? You can run all the way up to here. So if I put you here and wait, then you can come load. You can come load. You can run up. Now we get to the actual decisions. Alright, what do we do up here? You can kill this guy, no problem. You can kill this guy, no problem. So let's just do both of those, because there's no reason not to. These 2 pikemen and the 1 cavalry unit are doing an excellent job at holding this section up top. There we go. And you can just stay right where you are. Now, I'm wondering if this is better off helping down here or up top. Because these guys are handling things very well themselves, but I am hesitant. Tell you what, let's dump you. You can be in the mountains, and then we can start shoring up down here. You guys are very well off just because you have the main unit up here. So, you guys are good. It's actually, I'm trying to think. Let's move you over. So, hold on. If they're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I move all the way up the road, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here is where I need to be in order to hit someone here very hard. I'm thinking, let's get this final hit, because they told us that we get more groove by finishing off kills. Perfect. And then we can line our pikemen up so they still get their bonus. Whoa, that alone charged us all the way up to 60, it looks like. I mean, they did say that it goes a little bit on its own, but even so, it seems like we're getting that very quickly. Alright, what to do next? We have 2 pikemen here, 2 pikemen here. Let's invest in 1 more ranger, and we'll bring this one down south whenever their time comes. And besides that, we'll just wait it out and completely block off their advance in between these 2 sections. Not bad. They should be well too. Very good. Getting kind of close, but not too horrible. We got 2 units up there, alright. First things first, let's do our auto moves, so that means getting you on the road and dropping you off. Getting you all the way up here. And getting you inside this wagon. Perfect. Okay, what to do here? This guy can shoot pretty much any of us, which is a bit of a problem. And you can hit only really our front lines. So I'll tell you what range are you? I'm going to move him right outside of you guys' range. And I'm going to just let everyone else sit there. And besides that, I think we're good. So what about down here? Let's see. So we're not going to get a kill off you. Yeah. I'm not going to get a kill off you either. Might need to worry about shuffling these guys around somewhat. Because you can get a kill. And you, if I run you all the way down, might be able to get a kill off him. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can go here or here. I'm trying to think out what the best possible plan is here. Just because of how claustrophobic it is, it's hard to move everyone around the way I want them to be. Let's take you out, because there's no real harm in it. Now if we move you down, we can finish you off.
I won't hold back.
Perfect. And we have our groove for next turn. We can do a hunk of damage to you, but if we run in with you, we're still not getting the flash. So I'm still not far enough away, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to be at max range. Like, all the way at the edge of my movement for this to be worth it. Noted, noted, noted. Alright, no one's safe. So I'm thinking this might be worth it just for the sake of taking the hit. And we'll still take a little bit, but I'm imagining they won't be able to kill us next turn because we're both so low and we have advantage. You are just being worthless, aren't you? Which is unfortunate, but it's the truth. You guys are all going to stay where you are. This wagon's going to come up, I think, and catch a... Let's toss another pikeman out. So you go here, and you can move 3, so 1, 2, 3. So the wagon can come catch you right here. And besides that, I'm thinking we leave everyone else exactly how they are.
Another group of refugees, Your Majesty.
Oh, they're actually going to trade shots with us. Doesn't seem a very good idea, considering we have defense and also we have critical. This should go decently enough for us. We're starting to get low, but should be able to keep holding them off for a little longer. Alright, not bad at all. Oh, we even got the kill. Great. I do wonder why they decided to attack our stronger of the two spearmen. Curious. Okay, so... I think I might have just not moved... Did I not move you? I didn't... I don't know. I'm trying to keep on top of things without making stupid errors. Okay, so... You... can trade a shot, but it's not quite enough to kill. It's actually just 3% off. But you can kill this guy, so let's do that. Never mind, you can almost kill that guy. I need to make sure I look at the actual percent numbers, because you're just under on both of those. You're effective. I really don't want you to die, is the thing. So, tell you what. You take the grass, because it gives a little bit of defense. Finish you off. And you... I'm quite conflicted about this. Actually, we can bring one ranger up. We can bring one spearman. So if we toss the spearman, we could come bring this over and load it and add another reinforcement line, which might be worth it. So, could do 35, we'll take 14, and then we can hopefully finish off with this. Let's actually start with this, because it'll do less damage. Get you very close to dead. Take very little. And we can finish you off. And so we're not going to get a critical hit bonus, unfortunately, but the defense from the mountains and the forest should help us possibly survive the attack. And besides that, I'm going to want to bring this ranger down here. And drop. And then we'll have you bring this spearman all the way up. And drop here. And that did what I wanted it to do, where the wagon is actually safe. So you're gonna have to run for just a minute, but we'll be able to come swing by and pick you up very soon. And let's actually bring you down, so you're within range of the heal. And we'll do another sort of pulse of healing, just to get everybody up a bit.
None shall fall while I still stand. Healing aura.
Wonderful. Alright. And I think that's just about it, besides any more investments we want to make. So, let's go for... Let's go for a knight. And end turn. Alright, that's actually one of the safer options, I think anyways. Okay, we're very close to dead. We've got another wave, but nothing we can't handle. We can just wait for them to come up, because they can attack us, but we'll be getting the defense bonus, or attack bonus rather, from you. Or we could go balls to it and just sort of start going for the killing strikes. So we could finish you off. We can go in. Can't quite kill you in one hit. I keep right-clicking on accident, my bad. We might be able to... This might be worth it to just take the fight straight to them. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get the wagon going. Let's have you run up and load. And what to do with you all. let's attack just because there's no real downside to it. It just weakens them. Let's have... Close. You're very weak, friend. So let's actually run you all the way down here and reinforce. There we go. And let's have you all sort of start ganging up. So I'm thinking we bring you up on the road and attack. Minimal damage. And then we'll have our 3 come up as well and get the kill hit. Nice. And then we can start trying to fill back our mountain defense. And meanwhile we can bring you... I'm trying to think. Well, also make sure I remember to do you. Let's bring you and start working our way up. And since you're a knight, you can just do that on your own. And meanwhile, let's get another... Let's get yet another pikeman. Recruit. You can go 1, 2, 3. And we'll bring you back up to start reinforcing up here. Now down to here. Let's go. You can kill this guy. So that'll be a kill hit. We can have the archer come and attack any of these guys and bring them down to very low. And then we can come plug in the damage with you, who should be able to finish them off after that hit. And then we can come in and swing in with you, which should kill, at the very least, most of them.
I won't hold back.
Good. That should bring us back up to 60, so we'll get it next turn, hopefully. So you and you. Let's bring you so you get the critical bonus. So you can't quite kill him in one hit. And neither can you. And the archer can help finish off either of them, really. Honestly, I'm more worried about these guys, because they can take... Well, he can take 22. And you... Not you. You... can take 37. So I'm actually more interested in getting you help. Because the cavalry has a bit less defense. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Nice. And then you move forward, and we're not going to kill you, but we're going to get you very, very close. Or at least close enough to where your hits will start dealing very little back to us.
These are the last of the refugees. Once they're safe, you must escape too.
Alright, all is going pretty smoothly so far. This should be safe enough. Good. Hey, we even got the kill. Ooh, it started raining. That's actually very cool.
This weather. Valder must be near. We must hurry. Though it will be harder now, our ranged ground units won't be able to fire as far in severe weather.
Oh, really? I did notice there was a weather ticker up here. So, in rain, you guys have limited range, is that right? Interesting. Okay, so let's get you up. Ah, cancel. You. So we're going to need to, I assume, bring Mercia back out as well. So, you can actually go all the way up here and drop off. And you can come meet him right at... I keep misclicking. Right down here. There we go. And now we should start moving everybody else as far as we can, since we're going to start having to retreat. And let's have another... Well, the Rangers are going to be less effective. Let's actually invest in a Pikeman for the added defensive bonus. And end. Alright, Valder, you coming? There he is. Fleeing your kingdom, a true queen would face ruin with her head held high.
Valder!
Your Highness!
My queen, do not engage Valder in battle. You can't defeat him, but you can save these
I
people.
won't let you down.
You're right. I won't let them down. Alright, we're on a good track. I would like to look at them first, though. Can move 4. We don't know what his effect is, but he's at full charge, so whatever it is, he'll be able to use it. Interesting. Okay. You already dumped. So let's move you. You can get up to this intersection. So we can move you all the way up here and have the wagon catch you. So you're very important, so let's get you out. Let's get you out. And let's get this guy out as quick as we can. Because I believe our objective still says... safely evacuate all villagers and escape. So these guys are going to start coming, but they honestly can't get very far. Whereas you guys, luckily don't have any real movement speed in the realm of something like more cavalry, which is good. So honestly, we're better off just running as quick as we can, and hopefully they get sidetracked by trying to capture the settlements. Let's reinforce, because we can afford it. And just move everybody back as far as we can. And you. Alright, and then we'll bring the pikemen. And buy another one, while we can still do it. Because we're going to start possibly running out of funds very soon.
Rise from your grave.
That's his skill, so you can just get a free extra unit. That's interesting. And it's a swordsman too, which are the ones that get critical hit bonuses from being next to him. That's very interesting. Alright, we're still relatively safe. Luckily they didn't get a huge influx of reinforcements or anything like that. So let's go ahead and have you run. Actually, let's have us run first. And then drop. And then actually... Nah, that's not worth it. I was going to say we could run up with the carriage, but actually, since we're going to have to wait next turn to get her out anyway, it doesn't really matter. Besides that, how far are they up the reach? Decently far, but we still have a pretty good ways to go before they're too much of a problem, so let's start running everybody up. And try just to avoid any casualties that we can. Alright, the only one that can get hit is our archer from this one soldier. And here, we're actually all out of effective range, which is very good. So you go here. So I'll just kind of fill in the inner walls as best we can. You go here, you go here, you go here, and you go here. Meanwhile, you go a bit further up the road. This wagon sort of just goes somewhere. And we buy yet another pikeman, which is probably unnecessary, but I'm doing it anyways. And we're going to plug in the woods and sort of fill in these corners. Wonderful, they're getting distracted with the settlement. Alright, this will be the final hit. Alright. It's actually very good for us that they invested 3 whole sections into trying to capture that. This shouldn't be able to kill us. Cool. And we should be able to win this coming turn. Alright, Mercia. Well, actually, let's do you first.
My queen.
That was the last of the villagers. Time to get yourself to safety too, Queen Mercia.
I'm on my way. Done and done. Get you right by that flag.
You've made it! Well done, my queen. She escaped!
Ragnar.
Ragnar, follow them. I'll hunt them down and turn them into mincemeat.
Sigrid.
Go with her. Make sure this gets done properly.
And you?
Felheim yields its master. I trust you to oversee this task.
Very well. Alright, another A. That was close.
We can't rest here. It's not safe. And we can't return without reinforcements.
Can't we just regroup and...
Valder is a skilled commander, and the gauntlet he wields is an artifact of immense power. To defeat him, we'll have to destroy it. But we haven't the strength to do that alone.
So what do we do?
We need to head east to Heavensong and seek aid from Empress Tenri.
Tenri.
Your father and the Empress were old friends. If anyone can help us, it's her.
That's a long journey.
Let's go.
But we have to try. The question is that one soldier with the crown still following us? Oh dear. You seem nefarious. I've unlocked the arcade game mode in Arenia in the codex. Let's check that codex entry, and I'll check the new game mode in a little bit. So I'm assuming that's the lore. The continent of Arenia is home to Felheim, Jerrystone, and Florin lands. Oh, pardon me, let me try that again. The continent of Arenia is home to Felheim, Jerrystone, the Florin lands, the Lost Leagues, Heavensong, and the Isle of the Dragon's Cradle. It is the home of our heroes and of our heroes' foes. Welcome to Arenia. Please enjoy the view. Charming as always. Well, alright. I'm going to stop for a moment, and when I return, we will check out the arcade game mode, just see an idea of what it is, and then after that, we will move directly into our new mission. Things seem to be heating up. We've already lost our central... pretty much the entire kingdom, it seems, at this rate, but I'm hoping we can do a little bit better in the future.